Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into something incredibly relevant, really foundational for anyone in the business world today. That's the art and science of text and presentation media. It's not just about words on a page or slides. It's really about crafting messages that connect, inform, and actually drive strategy. So our mission for you, our listener, is to unpack why effective communication is just so fundamental to business success. We're going to look at the techniques that make messages stick, and then this is the exciting part, how cutting-edge AI tools are radically changing things. We'll even get into the weeds a bit on crafting something like a business operation plan using these ideas. The goal, to give you a shortcut, really, to being well-informed on this, drawing from some great excerpts and visuals we've got. So let's kick things off right at the beginning. Why is written content, so critical in business? What's its foundational role?
Yeah, it's fundamental. Written content really serves as let's call it the blueprint. It's the base for communicating and understanding the company's goals, its strategies, its policies.
A blueprint.
Exactly.
Think about it. Without clear, well-written communication, how do you make sure everyone, and every employee, every stakeholder gets it? Understands where the company's going and what their role is in getting there.
Right, without that clarity.
Everything else just kind of wobbles. It's the bedrock.
That makes total sense. So written content lays the groundwork. How do presentations then build on that? How do they amplify the message? Make it more dynamic.
Right. Presentations add another layer. They play a really key role, actually, in both business and education because they're built for impact. They're mainly used for sharing complex info, explaining ideas that might be a bit tricky, telling a story, or providing data analysis in a digestible way. Their purposes are super diverse. Business reports, product intros, training, strategy planning, investor pitches, you name it.
So they bring that visual dynamic element.
Precisely. Something plain text often struggles to do on its own. Okay, but just having a presentation isn't enough, right? What separates a decent one from one that really hits home? What are those core techniques?
Ah, yes. It really comes down to a mix of 5 key things working together. Synergy, you could say. First up is content planning. Honestly, success hinges entirely on organization and structure.
Okay.
You need a clear theme, a strong argument, and a logical flow, so the audience follows you to get lost.
Makes sense. What's next?
Second is visual design. This is where you use things like pictures, charts, maybe animations. They're key for grabbing attention and boosting the message's impact. But here's the trick.
Yeah.
The visuals have to clarify and amplify. They shouldn't distract. Choosing the right visuals, keeping them simple, clear, that's crucial.
Got it. Less is sometimes more.
Often, yes.
Yes.
Third is storytelling skills.
Yeah.
A really good presentation isn't just, a data dump. It's got to be an engaging narrative.
Yeah.
If you frame your content like an interesting story, it makes it so much easier for people to understand, connect with, and importantly, remember.
Right. It turns it from a lecture into an experience.
Exactly. Fourth, and this one's often overlooked, is speaking skills. The presenter. Hugely important. Speaking confidently, clearly, making eye contact, interacting with the audience. It lifts the whole thing. It's about connection.
Not just delivery.
Right. And finally, number 5, tactical tools. Modern software like PowerPoint, Keynote, Canva, Google Slides, they offer tons of features, templates, animations, embedded video to help make things look professional and attractive. The skill is using these tools thoughtfully so they support the message, don't overpower it. So really pulling it all together. An effective presentation needs that mix.
Yeah.
Content knowledge, visual design skills, speaking skills, they all have to work in concert.
That's a fantastic breakdown. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. Beyond presentations, what other kinds of writing work happen in a typical business? It sounds like it's more than just emails and reports.
Oh, absolutely. It's incredibly diverse.
Yes.
The main areas are quite broad. First, there's just a huge amount of content creation. This covers everything from, formal reports, event proposals, marketing plans, but also website content, social media posts, even scripts for videos or podcasts like this.
Right.
Professionals doing this need to research, plan, draft, edit, produce the final thing. And it often means working really closely with lots of different teams.
Like marketing, product.
Exactly. Marketing, product, finance, HR, even the tech research folks. Lots of collaboration.
Okay, what else besides creation?
Second, editing and proofreading. Super important. The goal here is making sure everything text, data is clear, precise, and crucially consistent with the company's culture and brand image.
So accuracy and voice.
Precisely. Professionalism, alignment, and third, especially now, translation. In a global business, translators aren't just swapping words. They're converting concepts, making sure content is accurate, culturally right, and actually resonates. You need to understand nuance.
Yeah, cultural context is huge there.
Definitely.
So, with all that variety in writing, what does it mean for that very first step? Turning an idea into actual words, especially now with AI in the mix. That initial leap feels critical.
It is. It's fascinating because text media is, like you said, the most basic, the most fundamental way to get content down. That first critical step is turning those raw ideas or needs into clear, descriptive text.
Okay.
And from an AI perspective, that translates directly into learning how to prompt.
Ah, prompting. We hear that a lot now.
Right. It's not just asking a question. It's learning how to communicate your intent, structure your request, give enough context so the AI really gets what you need. It's about guiding it to give you high-quality, relevant stuff. Historically, good content needed to tons of research, pulling together different viewpoints.
From owners, employees, customers.
Yeah, all that. Plus industry experience. Now you're kind of learning to distill all that complexity into an effective prompt for the AI.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Now, our sources talk about how AI is impacting writing, and it's clearly way beyond just spell check these days. What are the key ways it's helping, and where is this tech actually going?
Well, initially, its main help was automating the tedious stuff,
Yeah.
right? Generating initial ideas, checking grammar, spelling, definitely boosted efficiency.
Sure, the grunt work.
Exactly. But what's genuinely surprising, maybe even a bit startling, is how fast modern AI tools have advanced. They now have pretty strong logical analysis skills, even some, you might say, creative thinking ability. They can handle complex decision-making, understand different contexts, adapt, even deal with subtle language things, cultural differences.
Wow, okay.
And the source material is quite bold here. It asserts that in many areas, AI can work faster and, yes, sometimes better than humans. It suggests these tools aren't just helpers anymore. They could actually replace many jobs people used to do, especially in content generation.
Replace jobs. That's a big statement.
It is, but, and this is important, the source also highlights a key limitation: its inability to fully replace human creativity and critical thinking.
Okay, but hang on. You just said AI is getting good at creative thinking. So how do we square that? What's the human creativity AI can't replicate? Where do we lean in?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a crucial distinction. While AI can generate novel combinations, often mimicking creativity, it generally lacks, well, genuine originality that comes from consciousness or emotion or real lived experience. Human creativity often taps into empathy, intuition, connecting things in ways that resonate deeply, personally, that aha moment from human insight.
So AI optimizes, humans originate.
That's a good way to think about it. AI is brilliant at optimizing what is, expanding on existing data. Humans can imagine what could be. So the human role shifts, maybe. Less about pure generation, more about discernment, curating, refining, applying that unique human judgment and strategic foresight.
That makes sense. A shift in focus. Okay, let's ground this. A concrete example. Writing a business operation plan. This is huge, right? The blueprint for the future. Walk us through the detailed process. What are the critical steps and considerations, especially thinking about how AI might fit in now?
Right, a business operation plan is a beast. It's definitely challenging, involves lots of departments. It starts fundamentally with research and planning. You absolutely have to do thorough market research. Understand trends, competitors, customers. This means data collection, analysis, maybe using specialized tools. You need sharp insights, accurate predictions.
And lots of communication.
Crucial. Excellent cross-department communication. And the output needs to be objective. Avoid bias.
Okay, research done. What's next?
Then you move into drafting the initial version.
Yeah.
This needs that deep market understanding we just talked about. And this is where analytical frameworks come in handy. Our sources mention things like SWOT analysis.
Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats.
Exactly. Helps you size up your internal and external situation. Or the business model canvas. Great for visualizing all the moving parts of your business on one page.
Practical tools, not just theory.
Definitely. They guide decision-making.
Okay.
For the draft itself, the plan structure needs to be super clear, easy to follow, logical flow. Language, clear, accurate, consistent with the company style, no jargon if you can help it.
And teamwork.
Vital, working closely with marketing, product, etc., through regular meetings, sharing info constantly.
Got it. Draft one is done. Then.
Editing and proofreading. And this is way more than just typos. It's ensuring everything text data is precise, clear, and fits the company culture, the brand voice. You can use people or AI tools for grammar checks. But you need that deep understanding of the company culture for consistency. And it's iterative. Multiple rounds of revisions, updates, it's a continuous process.
Keeping it current.
Absolutely. Fact-checking is paramount too. Deep research, talking to the experts. And editing also means looking at the overall structure, the logic. Does it hang together?
Right. Big picture check. And the final step.
Review and approval. Usually by top managers. They need critical thinking. Does this really align with our strategy? They need strong communication skills for feedback, solid decision-making ability to finalize things, and a thorough grasp of all the details. Consistency is key.
It really sounds like a massive undertaking. What else, beyond that core process, makes a plan not just, done, but actually effective, compelling?
Good question. There are definitely things that elevate it. First, visual elements. Visuals can seriously boost understanding and grab attention.
Yeah.
But again, don't overdo it.
So careful choices.
Yeah. Color choice, chart design that's clear, readable fonts, balanced layout, relevant pictures, maybe some subtle animations if it's presented, always enhance, never confuse.
Okay, visuals. What else?
Second, and this is huge, considering the readers, always focus on their needs, their viewpoint. Give them information, analysis, but most importantly, specific suggestions and solutions that help them.
Make it actionable for them.
Exactly. Yeah. Clear, concrete suggestions. Avoid jargon if the audience is mixed. Understand their background decision makers, care about efficiency, profits, and use practical examples. Makes it much easier to grasp and apply.
Makes sense. Anything else?
Yes. Third, continuous updating. Can't stress this enough. Markets change, industries change. The plan have to be a living document.
Right, not something that just gathers dust on a shelf.
Precisely. Regular updates are non-negotiable to keep it relevant.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Given all that, what are the absolute must-have content items, the non-negotiables for a comprehensive business plan?
Right, the building blocks. Our source lists 9 essential components you really need. 1, a solid market study size, structure, trends, competition, backed by data.
Okay.
2, a detailed organization design structure, resource allocation. 3, human resources planning, employee structure, development, HR strategy. 4, the core strategy plan, product, marketing, HR, execution path. 5, a specific action plan, what actions, who does them, by when.
Timelines, accountability.
Exactly. 6, the financial forecast, sales, profit, cash flow, critical. 7, a clear execution content description outlining the how. 8, detailed marketing activity, planning promotions, ads, PR. And 9, absolutely essential, risk planning, identifying risks, and planning how to counter them.
That's a lot of ground to cover.
It is. And for every single item, accuracy and completeness are vital. And always thinking about the reader. It all requires that close cooperation across departments we talked about.
So how do we make sure these plans aren't just accurate, but genuinely innovative, useful, driving future success, not just ticking boxes?
That takes another layer of effort. It's about foresight and adaptability. First, you have to actively research the latest trends, changes, integrate new strategies, concepts, management ideas, maybe bring in external experts for fresh perspectives.
Stay ahead of the curve.
Right. Second, really bake in that think like the reader approach. Provide specific, actionable guidance. And constantly talk to department heads, employees get their feedback, adjust based on their needs.
Keep it grounded in reality.
Exactly. And finally, you need a system, a mechanism for continuous review and updating, regular meetings, tracking changes. It keeps the plan alive, innovative, relevant.
So bringing it full circle, we've covered the importance of communication, the types of writing, the whole complex process of building a business plan. Now, how do we actually use these powerful AI tools to tackle this huge task? How does it change the game?
Yeah, this is where it gets really practical and potentially transformative. The next step is learning how to effectively talk to and use AI tools within that business plan workflow.
Okay, like how specifically?
Well, think about that research and planning stage. Instead of just manually pulling data, imagine AI synthesizing it instantly into a competitive analysis, maybe spotting trends or risks you might have missed.
Speeding up the insight process.
Exactly. Or during drafting, AI could generate initial frameworks for sections like organization design, or draft an action plan based on your inputs. Saves hours of just structuring.
Getting you past the blank page.
Right. And for editing and proofreading, AI goes way beyond grammar now. It can check your whole document for consistent tone, flag jargon, even suggest rephrasing for clarity or impact. making sure it fits the company voice.
Okay, and what kind of tools are we talking about?
We'll be looking at platforms like COZE and also some really powerful open source tools you can run locally.
Locally, meaning my own computer.
Yeah, but there's a catch. Those local ones, they're powerful, but they need serious computing power. Usually a high-end GPU like the graphics cards in gaming laptops or workstations.
Ah, okay, so not for every machine.
Not yet for the most powerful ones. But the main goal here is to guide you, the listener, on how to communicate effectively with the AI, how to prompt it strategically to get not just content, but better, more refined, truly impactful text for your plan.
What a journey. We've really covered a lot today, from the foundations of business communication, that intricate process of building a business plan, and now seeing how AI is becoming this transformative force, not just a helper, but changing how we do these core tasks.
It really does leave us with a significant question to ponder, doesn't it? For you, the listener.
Yeah.
Given how fast AI is moving, its potential to, as the source said, replace many jobs, but also its stated inability to fully replicate human creativity and critical thinking. How does the human role in crafting these strategic, impactful communications actually evolve? Where do you see that sweet spot, that ideal collaboration between human expertise and powerful AI? And maybe more importantly, what new skills, beyond just traditional writing, become absolutely paramount for success in this new landscape?
That is definitely something to think about, a powerful thought to leave you with. Take these insights, mull them over, see how they might apply to your own work or learning. Maybe even check out some of those AI tools. Until next time on The Deep Dive, keep exploring.